Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a sit down and chat, which is a second year review. I just finished second year, so I just thought why not we go and review over the year. I know I filmed a lot throughout second year, but it was obviously not everything, so we'll go through it together. So let's get started with the video. Okay, first I'm going to start off with actual uni itself and my course and everything. So first of all, I would like to say it was not too bad this year. Definitely I did feel how everyone would say first year to second year jump is the hardest jump of university, which I could kind of say is kind of similar to year 12 to year 13 in A levels. It's kind of like a similar jump where everything is very basic in the first year, but then obviously in second year it's going to get quite harder. But I managed and pulled through. And then we'll talk about societies, which also, if you guys didn't know, I was part of the K-pop dance societies committee this year, and I was just a regular member of the Abacus Society. So a point of view coming from committee member, society as a committee member was okay. However, I would say the society is a bit cliquey. Unfortunately, it is not the only society that is cliquey. I've heard stories from other friends who are part of different societies who have said that some of the committee members can be very cliquey, and unfortunately, if you expect 18 plus people to act like adults, that you should throw that out the window. Yeah, I would definitely say there's quite a lot of people who still act like it's secondary school and still have kind of like that popular mindset or just secondary school mindset. It is not that great, but unfortunately you have to deal with it. But as a regular member, for example, because I was a regular member in Abacus, that was okay. I went to events the first half of the academic year, but the second half I just didn't really go. In general, societies are mainly for in a sense freshers to kind of get to know people, have friends who have similar interests or just similarities to you. But once you find your group of friends, technically you don't really need to be part of society unless say, for example, it's like a sport or a dance society where then it's just more about your passions. Obviously K-pop and dance is my passion, but it's just that I will not be joining society next year. Because honestly, I just don't like society atmosphere really. I'm just okay with my group of friends, and I have quite a bigger group of friends, so yeah. Also I'll be saving money because I won't be buying the membership, and I also won't be buying the Guild of Societies, which at my uni is basically just you need to pay that to be able to even join a society, to buy a membership for a society, which is crazy. So yeah, I'm saving money on that. But I will still be going to dance classes and stuff if there's any dances that I'm very interested in. I just have to pay £3 if I don't have membership. So yeah, I will still be attending classes, but probably not very often. Next we'll talk about is the flat I lived in this year. So if you guys didn't see the little living room tour I gave in my 100 subscriber video, our flat was big. By the looks of just the living room itself, it was big. We had first and second floor, so we had 2 floors for our flat. So the first floor had kitchen, it had the bathroom, 1 bedroom and a living room, and then upstairs were just the 3 other bedrooms. Definitely it was quite big. I enjoyed it, but there has been quite a few issues with that flat where basically we were just oh, the landlord just kind of painted it, made it a bit modern, but everything internally was just not great. We had the boiler cut out for about a week and a bit during I think December probably. So it was cold. We had no heating for that week, and we had no hot water. Luckily, I was part of the gym. I was part of JD Gym, so I just took a shower there. But honestly, if I wasn't part of a gym, I think I'd be really screwed. So that was really annoying. The second thing that happened, which obviously I never documented really, was the power outage we kept having. So for some weird reason, our flat was on two different circuit boards, the electric, and it wasn't say a specific room was on, like a couple of rooms were part of this one circuit board, but it just specific plugs. So if one of the circuit boards went out, which was quite often, it happened probably 3 times this year, which was ridiculous. But out of all the plugs in our kitchen, like, because we had quite a lot of sockets in our kitchen, the only one that was working was the one that was connecting to the fridge. So the only one that was on, while the rest of the lights and the other switches weren't working, was the one that the fridge was connected to, which was lucky, or that fridge, the food would have gone bad. But yes, it was ridiculous. Like, certain plugs in our rooms were on, but the lights wouldn't turn on. Just put them all in one circuit board, please, guys. Like, it's not that hard. So yeah, there was a few things that went wrong with the flat, and also our landlord was just a bit iffy, a bit greedy. Yeah, because obviously, like I said, the boiler kind of broke and we had no hot water. So when they had the maintenance guy come in to fix our boiler, I wasn't in the house, but my flatmate was, and she said that the boiler was so old that the maintenance man had to call the company to put it back together because it was just too old, that he basically, in a sense, never seen one like this. So that was a bit worrying. And then because we had 2 different maintenance guys have a look at our boiler, the first guy who just came to have a look said, yeah, it's really old, there's a lot of problems with it, should replace it actually because it's quite dangerous. And apparently there was wires hanging out and like the socket wasn't screwed properly. Yeah, that was crazy. So even for such a nice flat, there is internal issues with it. I had major mold growing in my room as well during, I think, November time, but they had maintenance guy bleach the wall and then paint over it. So yeah. Okay, so for our flat next year, I'm still living with 2 of my flatmates are the ones I lived with this year, and also from first year. But the third one, she's moving into a private accom, and we're having another friend move in. So yeah, but our accommodation for next year is a full house instead of a flat, but it is much smaller because of the way of the road, because apparently that street is like a very old street, so they just built houses according to the street. But funny enough, our house number is 127, so I will try and make it NCT themed. You know me. But yeah, I'll give you a tour obviously when I move in, but we're gonna move on to the next section, which is like friends, flatmates, all that jazz. So obviously in second year, you're gonna know your flatmates way more than you will like second year, especially if you're living with some of the people you lived with in first year, which I did. I would definitely say this is then the real test of like, can you live with these people? We had a few issues, but we've talked it out. We never really had major arguments, which was great. We were very similar of just like, we don't live very messy. You know, because there was some people in Fisher that was just shocking, I would say. So yeah, but they were just minor like things, but we talked it out and it was okay. Friends, like I said, my friend group is mainly just like not part of societies or anything. Like I didn't make them through societies, so it was actually great. There's some friends obviously I'm way closer to compared to others, so obviously I just hang out and talk to them way more often. And some of these are like, I just got to know them this year, so I don't really talk to them very often either. So yeah. Okay, so for the last section of this video, we're just going to talk about like my feelings throughout the year, and about next year as well, so the future for university. So this year, generally saying I like to be alone a lot of the time. That is just the way I am. I like to be in my bed watching YouTube undisturbed. That's my vibe for the night. But I don't mind, obviously, like with the parties we've held, like gatherings and stuff. We had like a Halloween party this year and a Christmas one. Those are really good. Had loads of fun. So yeah, like I said, I don't mind hanging out with people too. This year was just, there was a small bits that were obviously mentally draining and just mentally not okay for me. But I think that's how people generally are at university, even if you have great friends or you're always out with your friends, whatever. But I would definitely say, yeah, it was great. And obviously, like I said before in previous videos, I part-time work. So that's an advice I would say. Definitely get part-time work starting from first year. Like, I didn't bother first year because I just didn't really want to work for the first year. But now that I earn my own money, and obviously, like I said, I got a new camera and everything, it's definitely worth the work. So yeah. Okay, and then moving on to next year. Don't worry, I'm just putting lip balm on because I got crusty ass lips. So a couple days ago I received the email, and guys, I passed second year. I passed it, which was great. So obviously that means I'm officially third year. Crazy to say, I am excited but also nervous for third year because obviously that's the last year of university, which is crazy to think that like already education wise I'm almost finished or I'm almost over. So yeah, but obviously plenty of third year content to come. But first it's summer, so summer break and everything. Obviously I just moved back home. Guys, the boxes are ridiculous. I've cleaned half of my stuff, but I still have loads of box and bags. So yeah, over summer I will be dropping off some stuff into the new house, but obviously I don't get keys until September because I only pay half rent July and August because obviously I'm not moving in. But yeah, like I don't understand how I still have so much stuff even though I've cleaned a lot of it. I sorted out my entire closet, guys. I've organized my whole desk area here and my shelves up there and my bedding stuff. Like, guys, I've sorted it out, okay? Yeah. But apparently I still haven't sorted it enough because I have these boxes and bags, but some of these are stuff like I don't need to use in the house, so obviously I will drop them off sometime whenever I'm back next. So yeah. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications to be notified when I next post. The links to my other social medias are down in the description box down below. And also, just to announce that I put it on my community tabs because when I do announcements, I use it on there. But I am also selling stuff on Vinted to just get rid of things that I no longer use or no longer want, and I don't want them ending up in a landfill. So guys, just go ahead and just have a look on Vinted. Obviously open to offers and all that stuff, how Vinted works and stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Look forward to the summer content and obviously then third year content. But I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.